All right, guys, we have the Nikko Turbo Panther. I wanted to break this thing out. This is like pretty much my childhood right here, but it's not the childhood that I had. I had like these cheap RCs that had these cords that we had to follow behind, and you could only turn like one way in reverse or something, and they were just miserable. And I always saw other kids have like stuff like this, and I just didn't have it. And that classic look of these buggies, this is what really drew me into a love for RC. Even though I didn't have this as a kid, I always wanted it as a kid. And for many of us, isn't that what this whole hobby is even about? Like, we didn't have this stuff as a kid, so we end up picking it up later on as an adult. But this is in super clean condition. Most of the time you have broken components, broken wings, because the plastic's pretty brittle. These would break and these would get lost. But this thing is in great condition, a little dusty, but overall super condition. We are going to run this today and actually get a speed test. I do have an issue with this buggy in that I can't get mine to go in reverse. So reverse is useless. But it seems like everything else is functioning, at least within the high, like if I put it up in high mode, because this is a very unique controller that you would have a low gear here, and then you would switch it up into high. And then also on the car itself, you have a low speed and a high speed, a high gear that switches into. The shocks, now I'm not going crazy with it right now, but it is very springy, right? But the fact that it even had shocks, it's pretty cool. And a lot of times people would run these cars and they'd break the bumper off and everything. But this thing has definitely been a shelf queen. You know? I am going to run this today just to get a speed test, and other than that, you know, it's an antique, and I'm not gonna like abuse it or anything. So this thing is a battery hog, as you will need 8 AA batteries, and a 9-volt for the remote. On switches here. Okay, I'm first going to do a speed test on the low mode. So it's no speed demon, but it's moving. Six miles an hour. You want to chase after this? We can't pick this one up, okay? We have to be really gentle, but you can chase it. You want to chase it?
No, for my thing.
So again, 6 miles an hour on the low gear. We're going to flick this over into high gear now. Okay, here we go. So it's a slow wind up. Anytime you use the servo, engage the servo, it slows down. So the high gear sucks. Yeah. Very bad. Let's see in the high gear what we're looking at. 3.2. That's sad. So maybe on an indoor we'd be doing a lot better, but I'm gonna go ahead and flick it back into low. Man. Okay. All right, so we're just gonna have a nice little stroll out with the sun. So I've got it in low gear. Now I've clocked this thing before at 6.5 miles an hour. And I believe I was in high gear, but I was on a smoother asphalt. This is, of course, asphalt, but it's it's old. And on the remote, This is, of course, the high turbo mode. The only thing I can get to work is the turbo mode. I can't get the normal mode to work. This is pretty much what it's got, 6.5 miles an hour. Let's see if it has any energy whatsoever to get through the grass. No, the answer is no. Now guys, this is early 80s. So I'm having a blast with it. The fact that it's on the road still looks great. It's a lot of fun. Look at this antenna. All right, guys, that's all I'm going to do for today with this guy.